Young Ones. UK title Badland. Road to Fury is a 2014 action science fiction film directed and written by Jake Paltrow. The film stars Nicholas Hoult, Elle Fanning, Shannon and Kodi Smit-McPhee. The film had its world premiere at 2014 Sundance Film Festival on January 18, 2014. The film was released on October 17, 2014 in the United States. Plot. In a post-drought apocalypse United States, people kill for water. Ernest Holm lives with his son Jerome and daughter Mary in their small townhouse and field. His wife has been involved in an accident earlier and is now permanently hospitalized in a facility where she can walk while wired to a special frame. While everyone else has left the area, Ernest and his family remain, as Ernest believes that the land will grow once more if only there is irrigation. Ernest gets water for his family by delivering supplies to the watermen, who extract water from deep wells through a government deal. When his mule breaks its legs and he has to kill it, Ernest goes to Sam Lever's auction house and buys a robotic carrier machine called Simulate Shadow Sim to replace it, beating the offers of Flem Lever, Sam's son, a young, troubled man who has been seeing Mary without Ernest's consent. One morning, Ernest finds the sim is missing, and he goes looking for it. When he gets to the watermen, he is accused of stealing their supplies. He finds Flem transporting the stolen supplies with the sim. Flem plans to sell them at the border. Ernest takes Flem captive, ties him to the machine, and aims to take the supplies back to the watermen. When they were stopped due to dehydration, Flem convinces Ernest to rehydrate with the liquor they are transporting. Wanting to escape, Flem throws a stone at Ernest's head and frames the machine for Ernest's death. Flem marries Mary after helping the family obtain illegal irrigation from the watermen, thus saving their farm, which was originally Flem's father's. But after finding out Ernest had overwhelming debts to repay to a bank, which is now going to repossess the farm, Flem tricks his friend Robbie into selling his baby behind his wife's back. Robbie is killed and the sim is lost in an altercation with the buyers. However, the machine returns limping and mangled to its manufacturer, who resides in a city across the border. The owner, Calvin Hoyman, reaches Jerome at the home residence via CB radio, informing him about the machine. Jerome crosses the border with the help of Anna, a girl who lives with the settlers, people fighting back against the government's regulations and considered terrorists. Jerome meets Calvin, who gives the repaired sim back to him, and shows Jerome how the machine's laser sensor behaves like a rudimentary video recorder. Jerome plays the recording and finds some truth about Ernest's death. Arriving home before Flem, Jerome questions him as to how the machine found its way home, since Flem claimed to have sold it in order to repay the debt. Flem's lies only infuriate Jerome more, but at first he takes no action. Instead, he lures Flem out in the desert by posing as Robbie via radio and letters, ultimately causing Flem to fall into a pit trap and break his legs. As Flem cries for help, Jerome, who has been secretly following him, comes at the pit's mouth. Flem realizes that Jerome knows about what happened to Ernest. He tries to elicit Jerome's mercy, but Jerome coldly shoots him in the head. Jerome ultimately decides to withhold these events and the circumstances of Ernest's death from Mary, who is pregnant with Flem's child. Brother and sister remain in the house, planning to bring their mother there from the hospital now that they can pay for her brace wires, and wishing the baby will be a girl. The film is divided into 3 chapters, named after the main character in each of them: Ernest Holm, Flem Lever, and Jerome Holm, respectively. Cast: Shannon as Ernest Holm, Nicholas Hoult as Flem Lever, Elle Fanning as Mary Holm, Kodi Smit-McPhee as Jerome Home, Robert Hobbs as Caleb Moore, David Butler as Sam Lever, Amy Mullins as Catherine Home, Christy Pankhurst as Robbie, Alex McGregor as Suze, David Clatworthy as Calvin Hoyman, Lyra Opry as Anna. Production: Nicholas Hoult, Elle Fanning, Michael Shannon and Kodi Smit-McPhee joined the cast on February 7, 2013. Giles Nut-Jens is the director of photography, while Tristan Lynch and Mike Laurette are the producers. On May 13, 2014, Screen Media Films acquired the U.S. rights to the film. Filming. The shooting of the film began in February 2013 at Namaqualand, Northern Cape, South Africa, and shot until March 15. Marketing. The first trailer was released on July 6, 2014. Another U.S. trailer was released on July 23. Release. The film was released on October 17, 2014 in the United States. Reception. Rotten Tomatoes, a review aggregator, reports that 43% of 30 surveyed critics gave the film a positive review. The average rating is 5.3. The critical consensus states, "Visually compelling but narratively barren. Young Ones adds little to the dystopian Western genre." Metacritic rated it 47/100 based on 13 reviews. Jeff Berkshire of Variety wrote, "Jake Paltrow's visually rich, dramatically spare sci-fi western bogs down in its primal tale of murder and revenge." David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter wrote, "There's little refreshment on offer in this parched lo-fi sci-fi drama, despite the distinctive element of its retro rural setting." Jeanette Katsoulis of The New York Times called it a spare but potent melodrama that focuses on male violence. Robert Abiel of the Los Angeles Times wrote that it gets lost amid a mishmash of film styles. Official website. Young Ones at the Internet Movie Database.